Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to submit your 3D printing assignment. Now there are two options here. If you want to actually 3D print this out and keep it and build it, you can do that. But if you want to just submit the assignment and you don't really care to 3D print what you made out, you can just take a picture of your assembly. So your assembly is like the part put together like it would go. So you can see we have this little bridge piece we made as one of the examples, and all the pieces are kind of set where they would go. I would go ahead and group all of your stuff. So I would group this. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you have the whole leading, because sometimes it might be hard for me to see, and you want me to show me where the wood skewers would go, you could leave them. But I'm going to go ahead and group everything. All you need to do is just take a screenshot. I recommend using the snipping tool. I have it pinned to my desktop. You can also type in SN, and it'll come up right here. And you click New, and you just highlight. You don't have to get your whole screen, but just highlight your part. You'd save that by clicking up here, Save, and you would submit that as your assignment. And you'd be done, but you would not get to 3D print your part. Okay? But if you do want to 3D print your part, you still need to do that part. So go ahead and do that now. But you're also going to have to submit your individual STL files. So when we look at this, you need to have two different parts. But this actually has 5 different parts, and I'll get into that here in a second. We have this little part right here, and if you count that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these other 12. Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to keep this assembly. Anytime you're doing this, I recommend that you go into TinkerCAD, and we have this bridge, and we're going to make a copy of it. We're going to go to Duplicate, and we're going to get this right here, which says Copy of Bridge. Okay, I'm going to go and close out of this one, and we're going to work from this one. That way we keep our assembly, because sometimes you forget where parts go. You might forget how it's assembled. One of the things sometimes people make is a puzzle cube, where you make a little cube that fits together, and it's hard to do. And if you don't have the assembly, you might forget how to do that. That happened to a student of mine once. She made this whole puzzle cube and couldn't figure out how to put it back together. And then one time I figured it out, and then she could not figure it out even after that. And I gave her a hard time about it for the rest of the year. It's pretty fun. Okay, so we have our copy. All right, so we're just going to name this Bridge Part. Okay? And we're going to select, so I'm just going to delete all these extra pieces, so I only need one of them. Because basically we're just trying to isolate the pieces we need to 3D print. So I'm taking away all of them, but this one right here. Okay? So that's one of the pieces. Now, we have these pieces right here. Now, if I bring this piece over and rotate it around, I'll just go ahead and type 180. You'll see that these two pieces are the same piece. That one that was over here and here, so I only need one of them. So I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to delete it. And same with this one. I'm going to bring it right here and delete. And it's going to be the same with these two. If I rotate these around, these two will be the same, and these two will be the same. So I only need one of them each, so I'm going to just delete these two, and I'm going to bring this down to the ground. So anytime you bring it down, we need everything down to 0, so I'm going to go ahead and type in 0 right here, and those should all be down on the ground. Okay, so let's look about what 3D printing actually is. It's called additive manufacturing, and you can see here, I'll start from the beginning a little bit. It starts from the bottom, and it just works up layer by layer by layer by layer. Okay, so, and that's how the 3D printer works. And we'll go, they're printing like an Eiffel Tower. Okay, and you'll see that there's some overhang, but it kind of gradually goes up there. So when you're 3D printing, oh, here, I'll show you. Can't show you the video and not show you what it eventually makes, right? You'll notice it goes faster the closer it goes together. The layers are being built a lot faster here than they are down here because it doesn't have to be as much movement. Come on, and it's done. Okay, cool. So that's how this process works. But when you do this, you can't, there's certain things you can't do. So I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to duplicate this just to show you an example. Because of the way it adds layers, you can't just have an overhang like this. It has to have something like, if you try to 3D print this, something like this, all this is going to get stringy because it has nothing to attach to. So if you were trying to 3D print this piece, there's a couple better ways to do it. You could either do it like this, straight up and down. You could do it on this side, like that. You could, here, I'll move it back down to, you could do it on its side. Probably the best way would be like this. Okay, but you see there's no overhang now. So this would be a bad way to do it, like this. Oh wait, whoops, didn't select those things. Because if you try to do it like this, you'd have this overhang here, right? So we don't want overhang. Now it can gradually like slope up, but we don't want overhang, okay? We also kind of want to minimize the amount of area it takes up on the pad, because when we 3D print this thing, it has to fit, all the parts need to fit on this piece. So the smaller area we use, the better, okay? So, for instance, these pieces right here would not 3D print very well in this position, okay? Probably the best position for this piece to 3D print is on its side like this, because there's 0% overhang, okay? See that? There's no overhang anywhere. So we'll do the same with this one right here. Right there, 0 overhang. Okay, we'll bring it over, bring this over. This piece looks pretty good. I think it'll 3D print. It looks like there's a little bit of overhang right there, but I think the plastic will stick enough. We could also do it like this, and this would work just fine. Because as long as it's going up gradually, it can have overhang. It just can't just be like a sharp cutoff. Let's go and put these up here like this. At least that's how I'm going to do it for this one. You need to be the judge of your own. Okay? So right now, I'm going to take my pieces. You can see that these are not all, like some of these go below the work plane. Like, see that? That's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and align them all to the set bottom. Like if I click on this bottom dot, they all go to the same spot. Now you see they all went down. So I'm going to move an arrow key, and I'm going to move this to where, I'm just going to type, yeah, right, I would type in 0, or, let me see, is that the number changing? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So I just type in 0 here to make sure I'm set on the bottom and they're all at the same rate. Okay, so here are our 5 parts. All right. From here, we're going to go back to our TinkerCAD menu. I'm going to open this in a new tab. So I have a tab up here. I'm going to go to it. And since I have my bridge part, I know I need 5 different parts. So I'm going to duplicate this 5 times. Duplicate. Oh. I'm going to go back here. Duplicate. Wow. Not working the way I want it to. Let me see what it's doing here. Looks like I might have to do them just one at a time. Okay, yeah, I just named them the same. Alright, so I'm going to start with this one right here. We're just going to pick one part. And I'm going to delete everything else. Okay? And this is going to be, I'm going to go up here, I'm going to put bridge part 1. And I know I need 12 of these, so I'm going to put X12. So I know that's how many of these pieces I need. Okay? When I'm done with that, I click on TinkerCAD here. And then I'm going to go to this next copy, and I'm going to copy it again. Duplicate. And delete all of them. I'm going to work from the work plane where it's at the bottom, so I know it can keep track of which ones I'm doing. And delete all of them, but come on, we're just going to delete you. Oh yeah, if you have anything extra like this, I'll probably need to go back and delete that, my other one. Make sure everything else is cleaned up off your file. Like sometimes you take stuff away. Delete. Okay, there we go. And this one we'll click bridge part. Oh. 2, and we need 2 of these, so X2. If you want to go and save some time, we can go and do the exporting now. It might actually save us some time. You just click Save as STL right here. I clicked on Export, Save as STL. And you'll see it's downloading. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. You need to remember where you save it because you're going to have to upload these with your assembly picture. So there's one. Okay. I'm going to go and refresh this because that's not right. Okay, we've got this one. So now let's duplicate this again. So remember how I kept my work plane down here so I knew which one to pick. And since I picked this one last time, I'm going to delete it. Delete all of them but this one right here. Put it in the middle. Bridge part 3, and I need 2 of these, so X2. And then I'm going to go ahead and save it. I click the Export, STL, and save. Okay? 2 more parts to go. Go back here. I'm going to duplicate this one. Okay, I was working from this side where the work plane words are on the bottom. I'm going to delete all of these and just leave this one. This is part 4, and I need 2 of these, X2, export, STL, save. Okay, back to it. Last one. Sorry, it's kind of a time-consuming thing. Once again, I should have deleted this from my one before. I'm going to delete everything, this last piece. There we go. Bridge part 5 times 2. Export, save as STL, we're done. Okay, so we have our 5 pieces. All right, now you would just go into the assignment. You would upload the picture of your assembly of it all together, like when it was like the big bridge. And then you would upload your 5 STL files. Okay, you need to make sure you have them labeled correctly. All right, let me show you one last thing before we're done, and you submit that and done. Sometimes, like if you were going to make this whole bridge, I'm going to go back here. You need to, it's so many pieces, I would probably wouldn't try to put any other students' projects on it. I'd probably just do your own project. So what that would end up looking like is, let me see, I believe it was this one. This is what all the pieces on one board. So you see how it all fits within this 5x5 printing area? And here's the 12 pieces. Do you see how I kind of got them barely together but not touching? And the easiest way to see is to make sure you're in the orthographic view. Like right now, it's in perspective you already have it, but you see how you can see directly on top and make sure there's nothing touching? And I have everything kind of squished together. The closer it is together, the faster the 3D print's going to go. Okay, and also, like say I have another student's file, I might be able to throw some of their parts on here around yours. Okay, but this is the size of the print bed, so. Okay, none of your pieces can be bigger than 1 inch. You can always click on that and check. You can see that this piece is 1 inch. You can click on how tall it is. So all that's less than an inch. This is the okay part to print. All right, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing what you guys make.